crazy.
Everything's fine. Everything is good,
Climate
Kyle.
change.
Big change. Welcome to episode 109 of the Download Queue, our first dedicated review episode. Marathokopia, whatever it is, we'll figure out. Kyle's got a good phrase. He says it better than I can. Today's episode is dedicated to our review for Marathon, a few weeks in, updates rolling out, as well as taking a look at Pokemon Pokopia, the new casual hotness in the gaming space. Kyle, how are you doing, sir? It's a late one this week.
Yeah, thank you for moving stuff around. Had some stuff, had some little swelling still there. I'm gonna try to talk slower and with intention, as I think I'm slurring more than normal. And I'm not even drinking. So bummer.
Hey.
But all good, all good. No pain. No pain. But good, man. Marathon, Pokopia. It's just been a time. I started playing Final Fantasy 16 again to beat it on Xbox and go through the DLC. It's just a great game. It's just so many games. Good time.
I saw you on the Final Fantasy and I was like, ooh, kind of getting the itch. Because I never went back. I have the DLC for it on PS5, but I never went back and did it.
Yeah, it's I don't know what I want to play. I just need to do something. I want to listen to something. That's what that game is going to be for me until I get to the DLC, because I've already played it all. It's one of those long ass games too.
Yeah.
And when I played it on PS5, I was doing all the side quests and all this stuff. So I'm going to do that again, so I know what I'm in for. And it's just I don't want to be sweaty in Marathon. Or my wife has the Switch for Pokopia or whatever. Let's just be a casual playthrough. So I got through the freaking movie to intro. There's so many cutscenes. You walk 5 steps, here's another cutscene. It's like, man, this is a Final Fantasy game. It's crazy. I love it.
You're like 3 hours in, and then it pops the title finally. Like, hey, welcome to the game, motherfucker. As mentioned.
I will say they give you the title right away.
Jonathan, right? Is it Jonathan or Joshua? Jonathan. What's the kid's name?
Joshua.
Joshua. There you go. Perfect.
Joshua.
As mentioned, this is a review episode for the Download Queue. But before we get into that, I'm going to derail a little bit. Because it's a Saturday. It's a weird week. We're getting game announcements on the weekend now. Wake up this morning, I open my phone. Minecraft Dungeons 2. Announced, coming out later this year. I can't wait. I fell in love with the first one. Played the crap out of it. For what it was, one of the few out of the different variations for the Minecraft IP they've done, Dungeons was solid. And random Saturday morning new game drop. Hey, coming out fall 2026. It'll be good. So if you're interested in Minecraft Dungeons. Something else to look forward to for Xbox's anniversary this year.
Yeah, super random announcement and drop. But I didn't play much of it, but I keep it in high regard. It was fun when I played, and I see it as that's a good entry, a good side thing, and it makes sense it's getting a sequel. It's not a surprise, honestly, which is weird, right? I think before they announced it, I'd be like, I don't know, but I don't know, post it just makes sense that there is a sequel for this. I'm happy to see what they do. I should probably go back and try out the first one a little more, but really awesome. That's exactly the type of game you would want in a Game Pass catalog and in gaming in general, right? It just it's a cool thing. So hopefully it's not just a get it out the door type thing, and hopefully it is a proper sequel. It feels good.
That's what I'm worried, because the few things they have shown, screenshot wise, I don't know if I would be able to tell you it was the second game or the first game. Everything from my memory looks so much the same, and that's part of the Minecraft stylization. But even HUD and menus and stuff, I'm like, oh, is this just kind of an expanded thing? But I hope they go deeper. Again, out later this fall, Xbox Series X, S, Xbox PC, Xbox Cloud, PS5, Steam, and Switch 2. Which, I'll be honest, I may be picking it up on Switch 2. That's a good Switch 2 game.
Yeah, especially if they have full Microsoft account integration. You get the achievements. That's
Ooh.
Minecraft, and Minecraft Dungeons is the perfect thing for a Switch 2.
I'll take my achievements on the
That's
go
cool.
until
Random
we get
news,
around.
very random.
Right? Good Saturday. But we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Marathon, Pokemon Pokopia, Marathokopia. This year's Barbenheimer, as Kyle would say.
Pokopia.
Where would we like to begin? On Tau Ceti or in a wasteland?
Let's go with Tau Steady.
Tau Steady. Marathon
Alphabetical.
out from Bungie. Finally, after Destiny 2 and expansions, new title released earlier in March, beginning of the month. This year's newest extraction shooter obviously went through a series of delays in the past. Bunch of controversy and stuff around it. We don't care about that. We want to know how the game is. After, what are we at? 2 weeks, 3 weeks now of release. Kind of a full rotation, end game, dungeon map, whatever it is, unlocked in the community. Kyle, how are you feeling with Marathon after X amount of hours into it?
March 5th. So just under 3 weeks. We have 2 resets. Next one comes this Tuesday. I've put about my Xbox clock is over a day, but I've sat in the menu, I think overnight once, and I was like, fuck. But I've definitely put in 20 hours of gameplay easily, and I've put in so much in the different server tests, that the closed and open betas they had. I was all in on Marathon. I just needed to see more of the game. When you're playing these betas and the server tests, you hit a wall, right? You're not playing the full content, right? So I was in on the gameplay. What was more? And so far, Bungie has fucking delivered with a $40 PvP VE extraction shooter game. Like, it is very, very good. It is exceptionally good in the gameplay, the gunplay, the different mechanics that you have to use. You can get you're getting hacks. You have to use a mechanics kit to take out the OS reboot. And you could boost that, so if that happens, it doesn't hurt you. There's all these granular things, but if you don't even interact with those, you kind of are okay at the same time, because For Loop is just the simplified extraction shooter. It's even hard to call it an extraction shooter, because I think what Bungie did is what they did with Destiny and an MMO. They made a casual entry, quotes on casual, because this is Marathon's a steep learning curve, and we'll get to that. But in general, when you compare it to other more serious ones, Arc Raiders being more casual than Marathon. Like, what Bungie did, though, is make a dense extraction shooter with raid mechanics and puzzles throughout the game, not just in the end game map. They made it accessible to anyone and everyone. I've mostly been playing solo, and I haven't been feeling like that has hurt me in any way. I'm not ready to go to Cryo Archive, the 4th map. We'll get there. But that's just me not focusing on doing that. Due to going to San Francisco and some sickness in the family, and now this thing in my mouth, just haven't been able to dive as much as I wanted to. But I still am having a freaking blast. I still have good loot. I still am interacting with some of the some of the puzzles in the map. It's everything that they were doing in Destiny, but more condensed and more tuned, and you see the learnings of it. And it is, to me, just a exceptional game. I am incredibly impressed. The whole lead up to Cryo Archive, having this whole optional ARG event where people were looking at trailers and seeing coordinates and clues that they can enter onto the Discord. And, I was also doing it, answering questions from the thing on step 5, I think it was. It just was all optional. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. But it was, the work that they're putting into it is just really, really cool. And it's what they were doing in Destiny. So if you've played Destiny, you know what Bungie can do. And they are doing that in Marathon. And it's just cool that they are doing good. So I hope the longevity can continue. We'll keep talking about it. But right now, I'm all in on Marathon.
Good to hear. It's been interesting from the sidelines viewing it, I would say. Obviously, I have not jumped into it myself. Did the little beta test with you beforehand. But seeing the general feelings and people's thoughts towards it kind of shift and change over time, of leading into it, people were concerned, as probably rightfully should be. Like, it's still a relatively new genre that people are trying to nail down for mass appeal. You've had your couple breakout hits, but for the most part, it's kind of a hard thing to get people to come in and stay with. And now that it's out, now that they're past back end stuff like people that are in it are really sticking with the gameplay loop, sticking with the story, invested, like you were mentioning, with stuff going on like Discord and like doing all these teasers and secrets and stuff that like Bungie does and has always done super well. And it's kind of created its own now community around it, I would say, is probably its most solid aspect of it. And if they're able to get beyond that and branch out to more casuals, I feel like it's in a good place. But seeing it from the side, it's been an interesting thing of that sharp turn that people talk about now of you almost feel like people wish games would fail before they come out. And now it's here and it's riding okay and everything's fine. Like, that feels like such a lifetime ago now in the timeline of what Marathon has been.
Yeah, but like, you had to overcome the feeling that Marathon was going to be not cool. You know, like I forget who I saw that, read that, heard that somewhere first, but I just, that thought of if your game isn't cool, it's probably not going to succeed. It just pertains to it. And for a while, Marathon wasn't cool. It stole art. They were the art raiders. Like that stream after that happened was brutal. Like their game directors looked like they got hit in the face with multiple hammers and then had to go do a stream. That was just rough, but they overcame that. They compensated the person. The artist said, yes, they're in the credits. They are, that art stuff is solved, right? That's no longer an issue. And then they just, made it a dope ass game. The story, even outside of the Discord stuff, which you could have missed, it's not part of the game, though they were giving you messages in game that led you there. So like, it wasn't as if you couldn't have found it in game. That's like, they're doing more than they were with Destiny in that regard. But the lore, the story, the way they're drip feeding it in a way where it's like coming from Destiny for that decade plus, it's like I see all the findings and all the solutions and learnings of those 10 years of doing a live service game. All those that learnings are in Marathon, and it's just figuring it out and it's knowing if they have a runway, right? I think that's just the biggest thing is they say seasons are 3 months and they have content every 3 months. Then that's a crazy cadence, right? Like we'll see how much are they adding, right? So we'll see. I'm all in though. It's the story is dope. You know, Ben Starr has Durandal telling you to scream. It's just, they have something here. And I just hope if it isn't getting the attention Sony wants, I hope they give it enough time for it to build. There is most likely what's happening right now is the Cryo Archive map. The boss got killed, I think once. I haven't checked if someone else has done it yet. The team has got it. But on the maps, there's these little track pads, these little terminals. That's a better word for it. And it's at 4%. I think that's tied to it. So once we kill the boss enough, that should change things. And like, this is an ever breathing world like Destiny. I just think we're in store for something really cool if we're patient with it. And I think that's why like Sony's like, sure, whatever. But yeah, a lot of hope, a lot of assumptions, but so far they've knocked it out of the park. Is there anything that they can do or you looking that might grab you and get you in on it? What's keeping you as someone, you've played a little bit of it, what's keeping you from like saying, I'll get it and try it out more?
Yeah, personally for me, I honestly feel it is just the extraction genre. Like looking back at last year, our creators got us in for a bit. We were both in on that for a couple times, but it became that thing of when we were playing, they're more your thing. You were more in on doing objectives, know where stuff at, like having a golden path, you could say, of what you wanted to accomplish or what you were working towards. And for me, every time hopping in, it was just kind of I'm here, I'm doing things. I'm not really as invested in getting these items that I take back to the menu afterwards that unlock the same equipment or resources I could just buy in game afterwards. Like that grip isn't there for me. And even Marathon, when we were doing the playtest, that was my biggest thing when we were playing of I liked that they tried to make those missions and the quests more upfront, like loading in. If you're in with a group with randoms, it shows you what people are working towards. You can kind of rally around that if you want, and that helped a lot. Like, cool, we have clear objectives of what we should be trying to do, everyone is aware of. But even there was times when we would get in, I'm just kind of standing there for 2-3 minutes
And
at
I'll
a
talk
time.
about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where Marathon differs and excels over our graders is that questing. It's you hear people say, man, if this should be a single player campaign, right? Like this needs a single player campaign. It's because there is a story and there is questing that is happening. And yeah, you just want that. People want that extraction shooter, that PvP element ripped away so they can just focus in and have a classic first person shooter. I get that, but again, that's why that's where Marathon excels is their questing. Each faction, 9 of them, I think, 8 of them, 7, maybe less than I'm saying. They all have just such unique themes and theming around it, and the questing. New Caloric is all about the food, making the food for a colony. So they're investigating. Most of their quests are trying to figure out what happened to the food in the colony and those systems. So you're scanning different bio material and stuff, and you're just getting lore drops that way. And then there's Arachne, which is all about PvP. It's a death cult. They're like your runners, you can die over and over. That's just what their thing is. So it's all PvP focused and whatnot. And it's not just like arc raiders where it's like go to here to get the workshop, go to here to get the guns, your equipment, your medical. There's story and personality in each vendor leader, like Segaguchi, who's the company that makes the shells, the runner shells. Like their faction leader's a giant worm, Nona, and it's like, oh, I love you, giant worm thing. It's just there's so much more character and personality because it's Bungie's story and it's Bungie's world building and behind a solid PvP core gameplay loop. And it's just, yeah, I think it's what sets it apart. It's what's going to keep setting it apart, especially like I got a lore tab that was from present day. So a lot of the lore is like from back when the colony age of like what happened. And then I got one that was happening present day in the game. And it's a council member of the UESC council talking to like the commander. And it's like, hey, what the hell's going on? You have these runners grabbing all this shit. They're going to get on the ship. You got to do something about this. Like, go, like, do something now. And like that's hinting at the next season, and the next season already we know the UESE responds to runner activity on Tau Ceti, and it's like, oh, Bungie, you're doing lore tabs, just like it's destiny, but it's all the things that we wanted. And I think once that hits and once people get that, people are doing Cryo Archive and like, this is a fucking raid. This is a 3-person raid, and you can get shot by other runners at any point. It's hidden. They've hit it. It's really good. I just hope they have a runway, but it looks like they do. I know I'm rambling on that one.
No, but it's I'd say it's probably the most valid point because that's the runway and what they have adding. I feel if they can keep that up in a sense of it does feel like a new experience across seasons, across resets, that may be a thing for me to get back into because that's arc and this, especially with your skill points and stuff. And they're like, hey, season hits, all this is resetting, you got to re-earn all this stuff back. That is a huge turnoff for me. Like, I want, if there was a tangible benefit for wanting to extract and wanting to do the missions that I gotta keep, whether it be a cosmetic or a weapon charm or weapon skins, like stuff like that would help me. If there is stuff that I could be aiming for that way that I'm not gonna lose, and it's not this constant cycle of maybe this round is going to have the fun, maybe this round is going to have the interaction with other players, or those tight-knit scenarios of you're not sure you're gonna make it out, or stuff like that where it feels like a bankroll of what your experience is going to be. You know, because with the player base, which I want to get to here in a bit, but when we were doing the beta, it felt a lot more on site. Like, or people were doing their memes of, hey, we're friendly, doing all this shit, but Marathon, like, there's no interaction. That you are out to kill for blood, at least at that point in time. So if there was something on the other end of that exchange, other end of the gunfight, where, hey, instead of I made it out with their weapons and ammo that may or may not be better, if you did X amount of those and it got you a skin, if you did X amount of this and it got you that I feel would help too for me. But right now, it's just that constant loop of losing and regaining and losing and regaining is not the niche that I want to be in currently.
Yeah, I think the gear fear, losing your gear, I don't have that. I think they found a great balance of giving you stuff, especially completing quests and upgrading factions. They do a good job of giving you shit where you don't really. I have so much stuff. I don't fear losing it. It's more I just feel like I am wasting a run when I die right away.
Yeah.
It's definitely shoot on sight more so, but I haven't. Once you get into it, it's just. I think once you accept the flow, once you get in, it's not that big a deal dying. Um, Last night I lost 2 times in a row, about 2K, 3K worth of a loadout. Not the craziest thing. Then I went to a free loadout and was fine. And I came away with a 6K loadout loot because we looted people and I got good stuff. So like, if you just give yourself into the loop of over and over, all of a sudden, like you actually are fine. I think they found a good balance of, yeah, you lose shit, but you're also can get just as much stuff or more in the next run, possibly. And there are nights where it's constantly losing my stuff, and I'm like, all right, this sucks. But that is the game, and that's me playing by myself and not having a good squad. You know, oh my gosh, loading in sometimes great, sometimes awful. Sometimes people just run and do their own thing and start shooting everything, and it's like, all right, we're fighting everything, and then we die. But overall, solo hasn't been. Our squad fill solo hasn't been awful. Haven't done a ton of solo stuff, but I hear you with the stuff. I think they do a cosmetics well. There's a big codex which gives you all the skins. If you use a sponsored kit from Nucaloric on the assassin shell and you exfil, you get a runner cosmetic from that. And if you do that same thing on a different shell, you get a cosmetic for that. And then that's multiple of those iterations, right? So I think there's a lot of cosmetics you can earn in game, and I think that feels really good. Talking about the seasonal stuff, and we can kind of move on from Marathon after this. The big question: every season, they're gonna wipe everything. You get cosmetics, titles, stuff like that is staying with you, but a lot of some of the faction upgrades will stay, but a lot of them will reset. You lose all your weapons, which coming from Destiny, I get what they're doing. Hey, I'm down to see how that feels, because at some point Destiny like had an overabundance of weapons and then they vaulted stuff and that didn't feel good and they undid that. And like, I get why this is a system, and anyone who's played Destiny, I bet you are okay with seeing how this works out first. Because at the end of the day, especially with Marathon, the gear is trash. The gear is recyclable. The gear is something that you can lose and someone else gets it, right? It's the upgrades that make more sense for me. So if they can make that make sense story-wise and not make it feel weird gameplay and make me feel like, oh shit, this sucks, I'm all for it. I'm down to see it in action first, because yeah, people still have Destiny vaults that are pretty much full from stuff from year one of B2, because like, what do? It's like, no, you don't need it. Get rid of it. And that's what Marathon is built around. I'm okay with that. But again, what's the narrative reason for wiping everything? How are you going to explain that to a casual person that actually doesn't understand that that's about to happen? Because it's not like they're plastering it in the game like, hey, guess what? All this is gone at the end of the season. There has to be a narrative thing going on. And I could see story reasons for a giant ship and like all this sci-fi stuff. I get how you can explain it, but man, it's got to feel good. Feel good. Otherwise, season 2 will have a steep drop off if that doesn't feel good. Or you got to like refresh the loot economy. You got to do something where it's like you want to come back, because why start everyone at scratch? Yeah, we'll see. That's the biggest question. But so far, Marathon is amazing. They're knocking it out of the park, doing exactly what they said they were with it. It's a $40 game. Everything is free once you're in. You can buy the premium battle pass it's like basically a battle pass. You can buy that, get premium skins, but other than that, like once you're in, you're in. All content is free. Once you're in for the $40, which I love. So
has there been
I can't wait for that Metacritic to go up, because ridiculous. I got 5 points for that.
Oof.
Double points easily.
Has there been, with the talk of the reset, how the in-game events are going to happen? Like when the reset does happen for season 2, is it going to be a thing of you need to unlock the cryo chamber again? Or is there going to be new stuff in place? Or is that just going to become part of the rotation? Like, do we know any of that yet?
I'll look real quick about it because I know they announced like what's coming in mid-season and next season. So I could read that. I don't know how much they have talked about that flip and the reset. I don't think they said too much because like we're not going to have to do a whole ARG again. That'd be ridiculous. People would not want to. So it would have to just be unlocked already.
That's just because, from my perspective, it sounds like
free for all players, no expansions or DLC.
Into the bottom of it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading through real quick. I'm trying to
say because it
looking ahead
sounds
season beyond Nightfall. Season 2. Season 2 adding Darkness to Night Marsh, one map, UESC Occupation, which again responding to that, adding a new shell, and then whatever the cradle is. New guns, new mods, new threats, more. What honestly, thinking of it story wise, like we should have like aliens pop out. In honest, like we probably are gonna unfreeze something in Cryo Archive by the end of the season. Like think about it, and then like that's how you refresh the map. New mods, new threats. It's not just robots. Maybe a more hard, more difficult robots. I just think it's more robots in season 2. But anyways, again, season 3 is redacted. They have a plan. They know what they're doing. But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, we'll see.
What, before we move on to Pokopia, right now, 3 weeks in, what would you give Marathon for a rating? What are you sitting with it?
I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. What is it? 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Forget what we do. I think we do 5s. Really good. There's the loop, the draw, and right now with the 4th map out, that is the end game thing. That's what you're working to. So just like you were commenting, Ark, you didn't have a golden path or whatnot. You're just kind of choosing. There is one here. It is to get good gear, to go through your faction quests, upgrade yourself so you can get to the marathon ship and get insane loot. And that's the gameplay stuff. And then it's getting the lore. And I love that. I've spent hours and hours and hours doing Destiny strikes, Nightfalls, and just grinding that at night years ago, and this marathon is capturing that 100%. It captures that same vibe of just hopping in, doing a thing, and going and just playing. And sometimes you die and you lose your shit, and that is like a bummer, but it's not end all be all, and that's really cool. So can't wait to see where it goes.
Glad you are enjoying it. See you on every day on it. Nice kickoff to the year, I would say. While you're out doing runs on Tau City 4, I have been playing little Pokemon Pokopia. Arguably the biggest launch of the year so far for Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch 2 console. Switch 2 exclusive. What a game. Pokemon Pokopia is a life simulation building, cozy farming, Animal Crossing, whatever you want to call it, hybrid that has taken the world by storm. It is the first game that I have seen so far where people are rapidly going out debating on getting Switch 2s. Probably one of the biggest sellers they could have asked for right now. Yeah, what a game. I am roughly, I think, 20-ish hours in, probably around that mark. You are a Ditto.
Okay.
Woken up out of your Pokeball out of nowhere, take the form of a human, aka your missing trainer that you have memories of, and are dropped in this barren world with just Professor Tangrowth to kind of walk you along. You're learning about what happened to the world in its past, what happened to the humans, helping bring back life and Pokemon to the regions by setting up habitats for them, building houses, decorating, customizing, farming, all the things you would expect from a life simulation game, with a surprisingly dark and twisted story I was not expecting. But man, what a time. I'm 3 regions in so far as progression goes, but having a blast so far.
I'm 2.
How are you feeling so far?
Yeah, no, it is very, very fun. Very good. It is an exceptional game. Crazy how big it is. It just you're just like, holy shit, every time. It just is crazy how much there is, just especially getting to the second region and uh, having all the new recipes just start rolling in, the new habitats, the new Pokemon. You're like, okay, yeah. And I already know there's more. I think there's 5, right, regions or something. So it's like, that's crazy. There's so much to this game. It is just really awesome. I love it so much more as a way to learn about Pokemon than like the other games. Just the idea of making habitats for little buddies and homes for them and making them comfortable. And you get the whole Pokedex and you get all that info. Like, that is just so cool. It's just such an awesome meshing of different genres and games and vibes into this thing. It is what a surprise. But once you saw it, you kind of were like, is that gonna be what it's gonna be? And it was exactly what it was, what they were telling us it was gonna be. And it's like, wow, awesome. Not like other games where you think it's gonna be that. So it's my wife has been playing it. I think she's playing it right now. we are now, quote, fighting over the Switch over it at times, which is just that's a good testament to a game, right? To grab someone who isn't a heavy gamer and them on it and playing a lot. So really cool. I'm not in a rush to get to any ending and unlock all the stuff. This is my peaceful game, but I am just incredibly impressed, and my daughter loves watching it, and it's really cool to see her learn about the Pokemon and just see a new one pop up and be like, oh my god, that's so cute. And just it's a fun learning experience for both of us. It's a perfect game for us at this moment. I love it.
Yeah. It's been a fun experience playing through, and as you're unlocking these habitats, which I love the way they do, it's almost very light puzzles where you can randomly come across somewhere while you're planting grass or putting items together, decorating. It may build a habitat, or you come across these sparkles on the ground. It's like you found a trace of a Pokemon, and it tells you what to do to bring someone there. But some of the times I've come across them where one of the items is not something you can make, and it's part of the environment. And at least at that point, I couldn't alter in a way to get that specific kind, like a mossy boulder, for instance. So it is a thing of, okay, I have that in the back of my memory. 2 hours later, I'm exploring a cave. I come across a mossy boulder. Oh crap, that's what I need. Okay, let me go get XYZ to bring back to the boulder to make a habitat for this. Like, it's such a easy puzzle streamline of doing it, and it just feels good every time. Even the simple ones of, oh, you just need a couple patches of grass together. Cool, you do that, but that unlocks 5, 6, 7 different Pokemon for a chance to come. So it's still, okay, gotta go do one here, see who shows up, this and that. Like, that loop is very addicting for me, and primarily the thing I've been focusing on. Similar to you, not in a rush to get to the end. I've seen a lot of the end game stuff.
RNG on, oh, sorry, the little delay. No, continue on. Yeah, sorry, that delay got us on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen some of the end game stuff where it's in the first area, dry grass everywhere. You're going around spitting up water to rehydrate the grass, and like 2 hours later, it's like, hey, we're going to teach you how to make it rain. So it just does this for you. I've seen so many gameplay instances of that happening you unlock later on, where I'm almost skeptical about spending the time decorating, or skeptical about spending the time designing houses, because I've seen transformations you get endgame that just make that process so much easier. So it is kind of a weird back and forth of how much I want to put into it now while I'm enjoying it, and how much I see myself putting into it once the credits roll. So it's a weird in-between place for me where I'm like, I want to be doing this for you, but if I wait a couple hours, I know I'm going to get this thing that's going to make that easier, but will I be back at that time to fulfill your request or whatever you want to do?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. Like, at times, I think I feel the same way in what you were saying. Like, I want to do this, but then there's this and this and that and that. And like, I know if I wait, it's going to be easier, but then there's a lot to the game and it can be really overwhelming. And I think that's maybe a knock on the game is they kind of split up You do a lot of spitting up as Ditto. They spit up just a lot at you, maybe too much at times, but I don't think that's the biggest knock on the game. But for me, it's definitely like, I don't know what to do. And then I kind of just end up wandering and doing nothing. Because there's just so much to do and what you can do. And yeah, like I don't have all the ingredients. I don't have all the recipes to make this area look like what I want it to, but
Yep.
it looks like shit. And they all want homes. So yeah.
What was
Interesting.
your
It's
second
very, very
region you went
interesting.
to?
The beach one. I think the
Okay. Yeah.
Vermilion, the ship
Yep.
with Saint Anne. I realized you actually could go different ways. That's yeah.
Yeah, that's the third one I went to. And the one I went to,
Okay.
you obviously you'll get to eventually. The second region I went to is where you unlock cooking and all of that. And that kind of helps out with that progression where if you make this type of food, it will increase your ability with your cut move or your brick break move to make them stronger, do more things. So like even that adds on a different layer to these moves you already have. And you're like, okay, so instead of eating a berry to get my moves up this way, I'll go make this beefsteak to not only increase my PP, but also make it stronger for this region. Like it starts adding, like I see you smirking. It starts adding this nice layer of, hey, you could do the easy route, go headbutt a tree to refill your moves, or take the couple extra steps to make them stronger and refill your moves to help do this process. Like those things start snowballing so fast. Yeah. And then it's like, hey, if you do that, but bring a Pokemon that can do this move, that further increases that product that you're making. Like there's so many systems that I was not expecting coming.
Yeah, like you plant a seed, and if you have a Pokemon with grow, like Bulbasaur, he'll just instantly make it grow, or you have to wait if you don't. So it's like, that's what I really love about just learning about the Pokemon, and instead of making them fight with their moves, it's just use it in a natural way. It's like, oh, that's so cool. That's such a perfect evolution of the IP of Pokemon. Putting them in this environment just makes so much sense.
How
It's interesting that the cooking thing for it. Go for it.
No, I was gonna say, how with you coming in somewhat relatively new with Pokemon, like is it exciting finding the new ones? Exciting bringing these in and seeing them interact? Because there's been a couple for me, even being the lifelong fan, have an Espeon tattoo on my leg. Like I had one ask me if I could build a habitat for one of his friends he used to work out with. But then I got that one into my region and he didn't want to see him because he had worse memories about their friendship together and didn't want to see him. So you like go back and forth between them, like helping fix their friendship. I'm like, this is not what I was expecting from these two Pokemon that in my mind are expendable almost because, oh, you capture 10 of them for shinies, use them until they're dead. Like it puts a whole new perspective on that ecosystem of a game.
Yeah, the dialogue, the writing, it's not voice acted in any way, which is fine. But yeah, the writing, all the Pokemon have personality, and yeah, like I haven't encountered a quest chain like that with them. But yeah, just what they request for their house, how they do it, the personality and the writing, it's just like, oh, this is cool having Pokemon be more than just the little creatures, right? It's a very, I really enjoy that side of it. It's exciting getting Pokemon. Yeah, we just found Snorlax. That was really cool. He was snoring and it was like, oh my God, is that Snorlax? We're about to find Snorlax and he's hidden somewhere. So that's really cool. So yeah, finding stuff and seeing what each Pokemon is good at is really cool. And it's like creative. Like we got, what was his name? Trunchbull, not Trunchbull, that's Matilda. Anyways, he's like a dumpster guy, but you have to make him a trash collecting spot, and it's just a dumpster with a trash bag. Rubbish, thank you. That's what it is. Yeah, to get him, and it's like makes sense that's his habitat. And I think there's a lot of charm in their habitats. It's not just like all in the grass, right? All by the water. They have unique ones, and I can't wait to see the different Pokemon and what habitats, because there's some that's just a beach chair by a palm tree, right? And there's just the variety there is really interesting, and I think there's it must have been fun coming up with all the habitats for all the Pokemon in this game of like, all right, which one is for which one? Because where do they overlap? Where do they don't? Because it's some of them are just silly in my mind and creative.
Some of them
Like the
completely off
sheep
the
likes
wall.
it has a knitting station, the whatever the sheep Pokemon is. I was like, that's nice.
How, I was gonna ask, with your region that you're in, are you like caught up on the story or what like has happened so far? Like, are you in the depths and in the know of this tragic thing that's happened?
I don't think I know too much. I know like we're looking for the Pokemon or for the humans and like reading all this stuff quickly. It's like, all right, it seems like they didn't just die. It seems like they knew they were getting out. That's fascinating. But I think I'm still pretty earlier in the mid section of the story of this of section 2. I said section too many times, that threw me off. Yeah, I think I'm in the mid part of the area I'm in right now. Stuff I can't remember what it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Just got Snorlax, so oh yeah, I'm doing that. Like we have to wake him up, but we're not going to wake him up.
Yeah, it's something I think it's something that people need to experience because again, it is so out of left field for the series. Like, and seeing kind of the unveiling of the regions you're in, like you mentioned the ship and place you're at. When you start putting 2 and 2 together, of oh, that's actually this from this other thing, like that's been super cool. I wish it was a little more on the nose for some of them. The second region I went to is kind of in a volcano area, and you come across a building that if I didn't have a TikTok for before, I wouldn't know what it was. But when I saw people talking about it, like its relevancy to the spot it's in, I'm like, oh shit, I was not expecting that. Like, that's really cool to see in a 3D world like this and expanded upon. Like, there's a lot of fun Easter eggs for longtime fans to come across and start piecing what's where and why together.
Yeah, it's cool to see. I don't know any of it. People just tell me online.
Yeah. Copia should mention, not directly done by Game Freak / Nintendo, obviously published by them, but primarily developed by Omega Force at Koei Tecmo, the people who have done the Dragon Quest Builders games. So if you have any experience with those, right up your alley. I will say, with how successful this has been, I don't know your thoughts, but when we do get around in a couple years to when the next Animal Crossing is coming out, Nintendo's got to step up their game. Like, there's so many aspects of Pokopia I want integrated into an Animal Crossing style that makes it feel more lived in, makes that gameplay loop more satisfying, because it does follow along and follow the 24-hour calendar where things are happening in real time. But like the way it's done and the way you prepare and the way you interact, so much of that I feel can be improved upon in a mainline Animal Crossing and have that funding behind it to make it even bigger than it is, which is exciting to see. And I can't wait, because really the only downside of Pokopia I have right now is the controls when doing certain things, like altering terrain unless I'm using mouse mode, accidentally breaking blocks I don't want to and have to fully destroy them and put them back and this and that. But that's really the only downside or red flag I have with my 20-ish hours so far.
Yeah. No, I can echo that as well. Yeah, there's not much outside of, and even then, I don't even add that as a frustration on my part because it just is what it is. But I respect it. Yeah, I wonder what they do with Animal Crossing. It really puts them in a hard spot, because how much can you change and lose before you lose what Animal Crossing is how much of that matters? Is that even a thing? Honestly, you could probably get rid of the terraforming in Animal Crossing and lean more into the villager aspect and the customizing maybe homes and whatnot. That could be a way, because I think you just don't want a Pokopia Animal Crossing, right? You don't want, like, because Pokopia isn't Pokemon Animal Crossing, right? It isn't just a skin on that. It's a whole different thing. So like, you wouldn't want to just do the inverse there. So I would love the terraforming out of it, because I think you do need to go more Minecrafty in Animal Crossing if you keep that. to make it feel better. But then it's like, all right, you're just doing what Pokopia did. So get rid of that. Get rid of the terraforming stuff and just make us live in the area we're in. Make us have to build around it, make us have to live in it, as opposed to just tear everything down. But I doubt that. We'll see. Yeah, I would like to see more I didn't care about the villagers at the end of it, and I care about the Pokemon. So maybe do the Fable thing where each villager has like a own quest line, their own day cycle that they follow, wants and desires and needs.
Instead of the 7 or 8 Animal Crossing
I want to
villagers,
marry and have
30.
kids and have little kids with them. Let us breed the villagers.
No, it's fine.
It's an interesting thing.
A part of me almost thinks that Nintendo will just go, these are different enough at its base that we're not going to even change Animal Crossing, keep it how it is. And if you do want the Minecraft aspect of it, we have Pokopia 2. Because I don't think this is a one-shot thing. With how they have this region set up, give us a Pokopia in Johto, give us a Pokopia in Unova. Like, there's so many other regions to go and branch this out from that I can see them just keeping their own separate paths and not altering that one to fit the other.
Yeah, they can just keep. There's something special here. I guess, like, at some point you would need that core loop would have to change. I don't think we get any sequel to this for years. There's no need. I can see them adding a pack, a new region, a new thing, but yeah, I think there's a lot in this game already. It'll be interesting to see what they do, because I think they knew this was going to be big. I think they knew they had something, but at the same time, I think they were a little surprised just with how much. I mean, this is a system seller. That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's what they needed. And it makes sense with Pokemon, right? That makes sense, but still is a little bit surprising. We'll see what they do in response. They got those plushies out quick. We got the Ditto plushies. So.
They do catch
now
that
I'm
check.
sad they didn't have the Snorlax one, because I would have bought the Snorlax. Well, now they do, but they didn't have it when I was there. Wanted to touch it, but what do you have a number out of? Will you want to give this a rating?
I think same with you for Marathon, probably 4 out of 5. I had very little negatives besides the weird controls and the hiccups of how that works and how imprecise it can be at times. But other than that, like, music's super good. The second region, you unlock something that lets you use the music discs you're collecting, and being able to like make your own and curate your own playlist essentially while you're playing. Super awesome. Again, the characters' interactions, super charming. The sense of wonder and all the little features they have are great, and I love exploring them and taking Drifloon to random islands each day for rare materials and putting you on a cycle of gameplay that you want to be like. Very little I have negative for this game, and it's weird because if I was talking to someone random on Xbox, I don't know how I would recommend it. Like, for how big it is still kind of a niche, cozy thing that I feel the general audience isn't going to give enough attention to. But on the other hand, it's selling out Switch 2s. It's selling systems. It's doing what it needs to. I'm having a blast. Pick it up if you can find it, or download it digitally, because I did. I'm still on my digital train on Switch 2, and we're still riding it out.
Yeah, me too. I'm fine with it. I think Pokopia is a key card too. Not that I'm against it, but
yeah,
I know some people don't like that. Yeah, no, I'd echo it too. 4 out of 5. It's a exceptional game. I think it's the perfect entry point into the world as well. You know, if you don't want to do the fighting, it's now a new thing. It's awesome. So.
For sure. The turn-based combat definitely isn't for everyone. With that, and slight echoes and technical issues, I think we're going to call it an episode. Just under an hour here for us on March 21st. Kyle, what do you got going on this week after you're done recouping from your trip last week? What do you got going on? Just marathoning? Streaming? What are you doing?
Yeah, more Or Marathon. Want to get into Cryo Archive? Need to grind some gear and whatnot. And go see what that new map is about. It's cool. It's cool. So hop on in. If you're playing, let me know. Tag me, please. I need more people to play with. Loading in is now not working with randoms. Loading at specific times, it does not work, and it is a bummer. Some people don't know how to work together.
It doesn't work in a way if you're not getting people or you're just getting trolls.
No, they just don't work with people.
Okay.
Like they just do their own thing and they just like run and they shoot everything and then they go down and you're like, all right, like that's like trying to pick you up, and then we all go down and it's like, all right. So people, it feels like they're playing it like Call of Duty, or they're just like, I just need to go shoot stuff and then doesn't matter if I die. Like, pay attention to other people's quests. It's not all the time, but it's getting there.
Good to hear. Yeah, my end, I guess just check out. We got a bunch of shorts and stuff on the socials, on the TikToks, on the YouTube shorts from last week's episode from the Mix Indie Game Showcase. All the breakouts for those individual titles you can wishlist now. Yeah, we're just playing WoW over here. That's been my free time. I'm still slowly trudging through the story. I've not got nearly enough time this week as I wanted to get caught up on stuff, especially because we're now already talking about the first patch updates and all the new stuff coming through the expansion. So I am slowly drowning with content and games. But till next time, till next week, next Saturday, we gotta figure something out, because next week would have been our month in review, but this kind of was already. So we gotta figure something out. But till next time, be safe, happy gaming. Follow us on the socials.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Follow us on the socials. Kyle the Do, Download Q, all the places. We'll see you then. Happy gaming.